Good morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Sunday, September 6th. Looking at the impact map, today we have significant winds pushing down from the north across southern Idaho, parts of western Wyoming, and into much of northern Utah. Wind gusts of 25 to 35 miles per hour, dry humidity, very dry fuels. South of that, we continue with near record heat across the rest of the Great Basin. Now that heat's going to get pushed out of the area on Monday, but the trade-off is extremely strong winds, 35 to 45 miles per hour here on Monday, where you see the brown. Cooler air behind it, some post-frontal showers, maybe some snow in the higher elevations. But it is that area of wind that we are concerned about, and that area of wind stays with us on Tuesday as the front pushes southwards. Still dry and windy in the southern half of the geographic area. Also some winds coming in off the Sierra front we'll have to monitor as well. A little bit of cooling relief and some moisture, rain and snow showers across our far eastern areas. Now the smoke forecast near the surface today, you can see it piled in across California, going into much of Idaho. And you can see by later this afternoon, a lot of that starts to spread out and get aligned with the cold front across northern Nevada and northern Utah. Similar story for our upper elevation smoke. You see it Sunday morning on the left. You can see it expanding eastwards by Sunday afternoon. We had no significant lightning or precipitation yesterday, and initial attack pretty light. Most of our burning and our acreage was on existing fires. Had a few small starts here in the red, scattered about much of the Great Basin. We've been extremely dry on the left-hand side. Precipitation the past 7 days, just a few hundredths of an inch, some scattered light amounts here across the eastern Great Basin, otherwise dry. Percent of normal, you can see western Idaho to most of the western central Great Basin, 0 to 5% of our normal moisture. And look at our ERCs. They have dried out considerably, the driest across much of Utah, 97th percentile to near records in the purple. And even up here in the higher terrain, we have some active fires burning right now in the higher terrain, heavier fuels of central Idaho, 80th to 90th percentile on our ERCs. Similar story for western Wyoming and the geographic area of the western part as well. Everyone bone dry to near record dry. You can see that in the lighter 10-hour fuels, 3 to 4% critically dry, covering the entire Great Basin, with islands of just incredibly dry, 1 to 2% 10-hour fuel moisture is here in that brick dark red. Satellite imagery shows that hot, high pressure, dry, clear skies across the area, even picking up on the infrared some smoke across some of the larger fires across California. Unusual to see that unless the fires are producing tremendous amount of smoke. Here is that strong front coming through out of southern Canada. We do have a tight wind gradient here with a tight packing of these height lines, which is going to push further southwards as we go through the day. So let's go into today. You can see that dry air. You see that front sagging southward. It's going to combine with thermal effects to create some good gusty winds here where we have high risk issue to areas in the orange for parts of southern Idaho and northeastern portions of Utah. We see those winds here on the left-hand side, those purple-orange shades being enhanced by terrain gusting 25 to 35 miles per hour. We look on the right, we see that dry humidity, single digits to low teens across much of Nevada and Utah in the vicinity of those winds, and still dry up in much of Idaho, 8%, 11% RH. So another dry day across many areas, including western Wyoming. Now tomorrow is the big day. You see on the left-hand side, the tight packing, these winds driving down out of the northwest. We also see some moisture affecting our far northeastern areas. So here's our high risk for wind covers about 75% of the area from southern Idaho to much of Utah and Nevada, excluding western Wyoming and parts of far northern Idaho, where we do expect some moisture and higher humidity and precipitation possibly to be occurring. We looked at humidity values, and you see them coming up here in the north in the green, 20 or 30%, even 48% up in northwest Wyoming, but still bone dry across much of southern Idaho and especially to Nevada, Utah, single digits to near 10% in most areas. On the left, look at those winds driving out, enhanced by terrain, extremely strong. The purple to brown shades are gusts 40 to 45 miles per hour, and that covers a large portion of our area where we have high risk, across much of Nevada, Utah, and southern Idaho. So existing fires will be getting hit hard by these winds. These winds are still in there on Tuesday. They'll be modified by higher humidity and some light precipitation in the north. but still critically dry fuels with those winds in our southern areas. And you see those winds again driving 35 to 45 miles per hour in that orange to purple shade. Southern Nevada, much of southern central Utah. On the northern end, humidities will be a little bit higher. So up here by the Uinta Basin, on the border with Wyoming, humidity levels somewhere in the upper teens to mid 20% range. 3-day precipitation totals, you see that the eastern portions, far eastern areas, get grazed with a couple hundredths of an inch to maybe a quarter inch across western Wyoming. Otherwise, just little, if any, precipitation further westwards, just higher humidity. Going down the road to Wednesday, that low quickly departs and high pressure from the Pacific quickly builds back in, so we start drying things out as we go to Thursday, Friday. The high builds in. Notice our PSAs are right back up into critically dry levels in the brown, drying out across the eastern Idaho as well. And into Saturday, still 3/4 of the area critically dry under high pressure and probably near record heat at this point. 7-day precipitation totals, most of this occurs in the first 3 days, otherwise we're bone dry afterwards. 8 to 14-day outlook, much above normal temperatures. No relief from September 13th through the 19th, so for the third week of September, drier than normal as well. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.